All right, let's dive right into the world of international relations today, and it's all because of a few words from a world leader. Words you'd probably expect to hear when making dinner plans, not, navigating global politics. Yep, that's it. Three little words. Play it by ear. Now, when a prime minister says that about their country's foreign policy, it kind of makes you stop and think, right? In a world of super carefully crafted statements and 10-year plans, this just sounds, well, different. So that's the big question we're tackling in this explainer. Was this just an off the cuff comment, a simple slip of the tongue? Or does it actually signal a massive, maybe even necessary shift in how countries have to operate on the world stage now? Let's unpack it. To really get our heads around this, we need to give the idea a name. So we're calling it improvisational diplomacy. But what does that actually mean when the stakes are so incredibly high? Essentially, it's about swapping a detailed step-by-step blueprint for a much more fluid, responsive game plan. It's a strategy that says, hey, being able to react in the moment and adapt is way more valuable than sticking to a plan that could be totally obsolete by next week. To really get the difference, think of it this way. Traditional diplomacy is like a classical orchestra with a really detailed score. Every single note is planned, every movement is rehearsed. Improvisational diplomacy, though, that's more like a jazz ensemble. They know the main theme, sure, but they are creating the music in real time, responding to each other, feeling the room. It's all about being reactive and opportunistic. And this gets us to a really crucial point. Why would any country choose the beautiful chaos of jazz over the perfect precision of a symphony? Well, a lot of the time it comes down to the crazy environment they're forced to operate in. The context here is what you could call a geopolitical pressure cooker. A lot of nations today, especially in places like Southeast Asia, are constantly trying to balance the huge influence of the United States with the undeniable rise of China. And they have to do that while keeping their neighbors happy and managing these complex economic ties to everybody. A rigid plan can just snap under that kind of pressure, but a flexible one, it can bend. But let's be really clear here. This is a gamble, a big one. Choosing to be flexible isn't a magic bullet. It comes with its own set of dangers. So you really have to weigh the potential rewards against some very real risks. On the one hand, the rewards are pretty clear. You can move with incredible agility and speed. Imagine a sudden diplomatic opportunity pops up. A nation that's playing it by ear can jump on that in hours, not months. But the risks are just as big. To your allies, that same speed can look like unpredictability, and that erodes trust. And without a clear, by-the-book plan, a single miscalculation can have massive consequences with no protocol to fall back on. It's a true double-edged sword. So what does this all mean for the future? Is this improvisational style just a temporary fix for a chaotic time, or are we actually seeing the first draft of a brand new playbook for 21st century diplomacy? So here's the bottom line. Playing it by ear isn't just some quirky choice. It can be a very deliberate, calculated response to a world that's just moving faster and is way more interconnected and unpredictable than ever before. It's a strategy born directly out of the intense pressures of our modern world. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As global events get even more complex and fast-moving, are the old, rigid playbooks just going to become obsolete? Is this kind of improvisational approach not just an option anymore, but maybe an inevitability? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.